All right, so what do we got here next? We got Ben Simmons. All right, Ben Simmons trade rumors. All right, so before we get started, I kind of looked at these trades already. You looked at them, right? You looked at them trade
Yep.
already? Which one do you think is the most realistic?
Let me introduce this topic real quick.
I
We're
go.
talking about this Ben Simmons trade because the Sixers recently, because like there's been so many rumors about Ben Simmons being traded these past couple years
Yeah.
because of the Sixers like lack of success.
Yeah.
Like because every year you kind of look at the Sixers roster and you're like, yo, this might be a championship team. Like these
Might
past couple
be.
years.
Yeah. Like, yo, this might work. Yeah.
I remember last year, like I was looking at a lot of predictions, and a lot of people had the Sixers taking the chip, that Sixers going to the finals, and that Sixers team last year, I believe, it was the year where they had Al Horford, Tobias Harris, was Josh Richardson still on that team? But they have Simmons, and B, so they have so many star power. Like they have two All Stars. They have Tobias Harris, who's a borderline All Star, and
Yeah,
Al
Borderline
Horford
All-Star,
as
dude.
a top.
That guy's phenomenal scorer, by the way. Tobias Harris, dude, that guy can get a bucket when he wants to get a bucket. Like he will not care who's in front of him. Like for that guy, offensive threat for sure.
Yeah, so they disappointed, and then they blamed the coaching staff. But then the coaching staff, they changed the coaching staff to Doc Rivers, and then they lost to the Hawks, which is that's a real, like you couldn't get to you had the easiest path, right?
Yeah,
But I
literally.
think they had the easiest path because like look at the teams that they had to beat to the finals. They didn't have to play the Nets. They're not on the West Coast. They didn't have to play the LA teams. They didn't have to play one of the top like the Suns or anything. All they had to do was beat Washington and the Hawks and then the Bucks. That's it. That's the easiest path you could draw up, and they still disappointed. So now the Sixers, they said they're willing to shop around for Ben Simmons trade, and they're looking for an All-Star caliber player. So
That's
before we
true.
get into this, there's a report that they said that they have already turned down deals involving, like they didn't mention who it was, but they said there's a player who's been like a three-time All-Star. I'm not sure who that could be. Maybe like three-time All-Star. You're looking at people like maybe Chris Middleton's been like that caliber. I'm not saying Chris Middleton was offered, but
Mm.
that's like the type of caliber that has been offered and it's been turned down so far.
All right, all right.
So
So
are you gonna look at the first article with the Kings?
yeah, look at the Kings one right now. I kind of looked at it already.
Yeah.
But
So the Kings, they've openly expressed interest in getting Ben Simmons,
yeah,
and they basically said, um, you can take anyone but Halliburton and De'Aaron Fox. Now, if I'm the Sixers, I'm looking at this like I don't want nobody on your squad if you're not giving up Fox. And even Halliburton, as good as I think Halliburton will be, I don't think Halliburton can help the team out right now, or at least like he can help the team, but not more than Ben Simmons is helping the team as of right now, as a rookie going into his second year.
okay, okay.
So the projected offer, like I've heard going around, is basically Buddy Hield, Marvin Bagley, I believe is it the 19th pick, and
The
also
ninth,
two
the ninth pick.
the ninth pick. Oh, that's okay. That's a little bit better. So the ninth pick and two first round picks.
Yeah.
What are your opinions on that? I'll give my opinion after you
All
go.
right, bro. I'm not as 76ers. I'm not taking that trade. Like just straight. I'm not taking that trade. Like, bro, I would love to have De'Aaron Fox. Like, love to have De'Aaron Fox, because then this team would be De'Aaron Fox, Tobias Harris, right? Joel Embiid.
Steph Curry,
Yeah, Seth Curry for sure.
Danny Green.
Yeah, Danny. Yeah, and at that point, De'Aaron Fox is not a 3-point shooter, but you surround him with Tobias Harris, Seth Curry, Danny Green. He slashes, he goes in. He's like an offensive threat. He can lob it to Joel. Or Joel Embiid takes the ISO. Like that team right there to me is extremely, extremely stout. Like especially for De'Aaron Fox, how he is. He's very, very quick, right? And I feel like the 76ers, they need someone that is not afraid to take contact, not afraid to go in, right? Because at this point, I don't know, maybe it was just that, maybe just this like last like what 8, 9 games that the 76ers had that Ben Simmons just didn't perform. But to me, I just feel like this is You don't. It's like how many more chances are you gonna take with Ben Simmons, right? Like if I was a 76, I'd be like, bro, yo, I'm not trying to be like a dick or anything, but like you gotta dip, bro. Like you're an offensive liability, and it's not just like, oh, you suck offensively a little bit. Bro, you're dog. Like, bro, how are you how are you like the top player? Like, dude, oh my god, I don't want to say anything, bro.
And so Ben Simmons is like super tricky because like it's kind of like you can't put too much pressure on him because he is still 24. At the same time, though, you've been in the league for since you were 19. I think he took a year off because of injury coming in. So 5 years in the league, and there's no improvement. Like
Exactly.
you can't
He
say
went downhill. He went downhill.
you can't really point out something he's really improved on. Maybe defense, but he's been a great defender since maybe his second or third year. So where's the improvement? It's not his passing. He's always been a good passer. He's always been a decent a pretty good ball handler. So athleticism is still the same. So I'm not really too sure where his improvement are. So do you give him another chance? Maybe this is his breaking point to improve.
Exactly. That's what I was saying too. Like that's why I was like, yo, maybe this year, right? Like he did say, like, hey man, I'm not gonna play for Australia. I'm gonna go work on my shooting this year. We'll see next year, bro. We'll see, dude. Because
if you look at like how he plays, if you just added a jump shot, like everyone says the LeBron comparisons are insane, but like if you just added maybe like 3 threes a game and add 9 points to his stat sheet, it looks exactly like
I wouldn't even want Ben Simmons to be shooting threes. I would just want this guy to be able to pull up mid ranges. Like, dude, you're 6'10" playing mid ranges, you're basically another KD. Like, you're helping your team out. You're opening the floor. If they're like, yo, this guy's not gonna shoot, I'm gonna double team Joel Embiid. Like, what are you gonna do? Pull a fucking 3 in the air ball? Like, what? Like, dude, what? Joel Embiid's not. You know what I mean? Like, if you can shoot, players gonna play up. You can open the space up more. Right? You open the court more. You allow your team more freedom to roam around, set up more plays. But if you're an offensive liability, as a coach, would I even want you to be handling the ball? Like, I wouldn't even want you handling the ball. What are you gonna go down the post with Joel Embiid down there? Like, you both are gonna start posting up. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, exactly. That's why it doesn't mesh. But this is also why I feel really bad for Joel Embiid because in a previous interview, I don't know if I mentioned this. Maybe I just mentioned it to you.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah, you remember it. So basically, Joel Embiid said like, 3-point shooting is not really a part of my game that I really like, or I like shooting threes. It's just I have to do it because of the offense. And he's basically referring to the fact his second best player,
second best player, dude. So, second best.
Like playing with Ben Simmons, you're gonna need your center to shoot threes, right? It's kind of like how playing with Giannis, you need Brook Lopez and Bobby Portis, centers that can shoot threes. It's the same thing with Ben Simmons, but Ben Simmons isn't doing what Giannis is doing. So, and to what you said about like him improving his jumpers, I feel like the most important thing for him is getting his free throws. And the reason why I think his free throw shooting is the most important is because like you saying you'll take the trade with De'Aaron Fox over Ben Simmons. De'Aaron Fox isn't really a 3-point threat, so the way they play is not going to be too different. I feel like the main thing is that De'Aaron Fox is always aggressive.
Yeah, exactly.
Ben Simmons is scared to be aggressive. Like if Ben Simmons is aggressive, he can, even without a jump shot, the way he can move around the court and the way how like his size and the way he attacks.
Exactly, bro. This guy is 6'10". How can you be 6'10" and be scared of fucking little Trae Young, bro? Trae was 5'11". He's stat padding his height.
Exactly.
Stat padding his height. And you're telling me you're scared to get blocked? What?
That's why he is not aggressive, because he can't shoot free throws. Because in the playoff series, we've seen hack of Simmons. Every time he would get a somewhat good clear cut to the free throw, he would get hacked. And I think he shot the worst free throw percentage in a playoff series in NBA history. By the way, fucking Shaq played. Shaq played before, and he shot worse than Shaq. Like, that doesn't make any sense. And I don't even think it's his free throw skill. I think it's just everything's in his head. Because
it's all mental.
I've seen clips of him shooting in like summer league games and regular games. He can shoot. It's not that he can't shoot. I've never seen Shaq like do a Curry crossover and pull up. Like he'll do that for fun, like messing around with his kids. But he's never done that
like in the game, right?
In the game. Ben Simmons done that in college. He's done that in the summer league. But I feel like it's just the pressure, or maybe he just, I don't know, maybe he plays 2K a lot and he tries to get his Yoko up. I don't know what it is, but let's transition. You said De'Aaron Fox, you would take that deal. Let me just say the full deal, and let me know what you think about the entire package. It is Ben Simmons, Matisse Thybulle, which I really like,
Yeah, like
George Hill, and a first round pick for De'Aaron Fox and Harrison Barnes. So you would take that if you were the 76ers?
the thing is, do I really want Harrison Barnes? Like Harrison Barnes is a good forward, you know, like he like allows more space. He can shoot threes, right? He can shoot as a jumper. Honestly, I would take that deal. The thing is, I wouldn't. Dude, I feel like for that trade, do you think they're undervaluing Simmons, or do you think they're like, you know, what I'm saying, like, you're giving up a lot. You're giving Ben Simmons, Matisse Thybulle, George Hill, and a future first round pick. Yes, I know you get De'Aaron Fox, Harrison Barnes, but like I feel like maybe hold on to Matisse, right? Ben Simmons, George Hill, future first round for those two. I'll take it.
Yeah, that's what I noticed for this trade. It's like, yes, the offense gets significantly better. De'Aaron Fox is the better offensive player. Harrison Barnes is a lot better than Matisse and George Hill offensively. Yeah. I think he's a 90-point scorer. But your defense is a dramatic hit. Like Ben Simmons, Matisse Thybulle, they're both first team.
Exactly.
First or second. I think Ben is first team. Matisse, I think he's second team, right?
I think De'Aaron Fox is pretty good on defense too. I've seen something like he can strip the ball really nicely.
He's pretty good, but he's not like
he's not Ben Simmons, you know, like.
So this deal, it's, you know, maybe I'm leaning towards yes, but I'll probably have to think about it. I do like Harrison Barnes, but I feel like you have enough offense if like you don't need Harrison Barnes. Maybe try to keep Matisse Thybulle, and not. Oh no, they need Harrison Barnes to make up the contract. That's why.
Yeah. I assumed for that.
I don't know. I would try to keep Matisse and the first round. If you could just do George Hill and Simmons. For Fox, but they need to make up the contract, so I'm not too sure how that's gonna work.
Yeah. Oh well. But
and let's also look at the other deals. There's this really interesting deal. It's a 3-way trade. It's on the bottom of the article if you want to check it out.
Yeah, I seen it. I actually don't mind this trade at all. This is like the trade that I was like, okay, this might work, but
let me read the trade real quick. So this 3-way trade involves the Kings, the Sixers, and the Blazers. This deal would get 76ers Damian Lillard, which I would love.
Obviously I would love Dame with Joel, bro.
That would be so lit. But anyways, the full deal is the Kings will receive Ben Simmons and Seth Curry, which, you know, I don't know how that's gonna work, and then Sixers receive Damian Lillard. The Blazers, they get their full rebuild by trading Damian Lillard. They're gonna get a restart with Tyrese Halliburton, Marvin Bagley, Matisse Thybulle, George Hill, 3 first-round picks. So let's look at this team by team, right? If you were Portland, and we've mentioned this in the past podcast, we've talked about like the possibility of Portland just blowing it up because they've been like solid every year. But
they've never been great.
They've never been in championship contention seriously. So this will give them a restart. Maybe one of these guys or one of the first round picks turned into the next, you know, LeBron or some shit, and then they can make a actual push maybe 3-4 years in. So if you were trading Damian Lillard, would you be happy receiving this package?
The thing is, I don't know, like we said, this trade, like this whole trade relies on the Blazers willing to say, hey, instead of surrounding Dame with the pieces, we're just gonna give Dame and just have a full rebuild on the team, right? Like at that point, I feel like Dame, like I don't know, I've seen like you can see how Dame is as a character. He doesn't really like to like move teams around, right? This guy's been with the Blazers since, you know, he's been there, right? Like obviously I would love to see Dame go to the 76ers, but like I said, this whole trade revolves around the Blazers saying, hey, let's give Dame up, right? Like at that point, I feel like there's gonna be a lot of criticism. Like, yo, Dame's on like what 32? Like Dame's like what 32, 33? Like now I don't think he's 32 yet, huh? Like I forgot.
Yeah, he is, but the main problem is that Dame's contract is so big, and then you're pairing it along with CJ's contract. And
Yeah,
with those two, it's hard to get him enough help. Like, I think Dame, he's in his prime right now. Like,
yeah.
yes, he can have a better season next year, but I think this is like I don't think he's like LaMelo Ball where like, oh, is LaMelo gonna get any better? No, this Dame is this good. Like
Yeah.
he's this good. He could get a little bit better, but I don't think he'll get better. Like if he can't beat the Brooklyn Nets right now, I don't think by himself he can improve to beat the Brooklyn Nets. He would need to get another star or help.
Like the court, like there's like, what do you want this guy to do? You want this guy to start pulling from behind the half court, the other fucking side of the logo? Like, what do you
we
want?
might start seeing that, bro. If they don't make any adjustments, we might have to see that. But if the Blazers do this deal and they get this package, I wouldn't mind this, but you would have to make sure you find a good trade for CJ.
Yeah.
Get like maybe go to the Lakers, take all of Lakers first round picks, and I don't know. I don't really know if they want Kuzma, but you know. But I mean, like if you're restarting with this, like Tyrese, Bagley's like okay,
Yeah.
and then Matisse Thybulle, like I really like Matisse Thybulle. He's a really good lockdown defender. He's really improving on his jump shot. And you get 3 first round picks. You're probably gonna suck the next year, so you could probably get like a top pick for next year. You can get like another like LaMelo, Edwards, like one of those top guys to add along with Tyrese, who's pretty good. And then you can trade CJ for a couple more picks. Maybe you can package a bunch of picks and somehow, I don't know, try to get Cade Cunningham. And that's a pretty good rebuild. Like that's a pretty good start.
Yeah, I feel like because I know there's a lot of people saying like, yo, trade CJ instead of Dame, but like
just trade them both.
Trade both.
Just trade them both because it'll work out for both.
Lakers take CJ, right? We take CJ, give him fucking Kuzma and KCP. All right.
It would probably have to be THT. Like they don't
realistically, I'm pretty sure that would be THT.
They're gonna want THT.
Yeah. But Lakers get CJ, they get a young core, THT, Kuzma, and KCP, okay, cool. Championship, experience. 76ers get Dame. And the Blazers get, this entire goddamn whole roster, basically. Tyrese,
THT, Kuzma, and some picks. That's not too bad for the Blazers.
Yeah, because that would fully blow up the Blazers. Like, that would just be like, yo, we're going full rebuild mode. Like, we're going to take a bunch of fucking 19, 22, 20-year-olds, and we're going to fully rebuild this team. Like, we're going to have Tyrese, Marvin Bagley, Matisse Thybulle, George Hill, right? KCP, THT, and Kuzma. If he's not in the Shanghai Sharks by now. But every video you gotta make a joke about Kuzma, man. Fuck Kuzma, dude.
Yeah, bro. I feel like this trade, the only problem I see with this trade, I see like both teams benefiting. Like I see Sixers, I see the Blazers, and if the Lakers want to get CJ, I see the Lakers benefiting as well.
Exactly.
The only problem is I don't know if the Kings are getting enough from this trade. If they're just receiving Simmons, because they're giving up everything. Like they're gonna lose because they're gonna suck, right? Like they already suck, and now they're losing. Well, no, they're still gonna have Fox.
Yeah, so they're gonna have Fox. That's what I'm gonna say. They still have Fox.
Do you want Fox and Simmons together?
Fox, Simmons, and Seth Curry.
Is that any better?
That's a lot. I feel like that's a very like they're gonna run small ball for sure. They're gonna run small ball. Like that's a lot of like offensive like like that you would need a lot of like fast breaks, like you take it off fast.
You need a lot of shooters on that team, but Seth is gonna. Oh, I guess they will still have Buddy Hield.
Yeah, Buddy Hield and Seth Curry surround them.
Oh, that team. I don't know about that team,
man. The thing is, I feel like Ben Simmons, like okay, if he goes to the Kings, right? I feel like Ben Simmons will have more opportunities to like fix his game, like get back his game compared to 76ers, where it's already a contending team. Right, like 76ers are gonna put a lot of pressure. Like, yo, you need to start doing this more, start hitting free throws. But if it goes like Kings, no one's gonna be like, oh, the Kings are not fucking take the chip.
Yeah.
Right? I feel like it's more for Simmons to develop as a player and say, hey, I can do this. Right, putting the ball over my head and shooting it isn't that hard. Right, like I can do this. But that's what I would see the Kings be doing. Right, like developing Simmons, developing De'Aaron, and having like maybe becoming like where like the Blazers were, like maybe like 6, 7, 8 seed in the playoff. Like they can do well. They'll do well, right? But they won't. They're not gonna be like a contender. Like no one's gonna be like, oh, we're gonna lose to the Kings. We're gonna lose to the Kings. But this would also, like you said, I feel like it benefits all three teams. But like I said, it comes down to the Blazers. Do they want to blow up the team or do you want to take another run?
They should, bro. Like if you were the Blazers, would you blow up the team?
I would, honestly. I would. For this year, like after what? Like, dude, after that's just not even this year. After the previous years, getting stuck at just not bad. You're just like above mediocre. Like you're above average, but you're not even the great yet. You're not even like you can't contend. Like no matter what, it doesn't matter if Dame drops 60 a night. You're still not winning the chip. Like it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like at that point, you need to change something up. You need to build your team around Dame and CJ again, surround the new pieces, or blow up the team, have a rebuild. Right? Give Dame it depends on what Dame wants to. I feel like it gives Dame an opportunity to, win a chip and like I don't want to say like waste his career, but like I must say like he doesn't want to waste his career.
Dude, they're wasting his career right now.
Yeah, like the worst thing I want to see is Dame, that 36-year-old without a chip, still in the Blazers. Like dude, at that point I'm just sad, dude. Like you can have like drop 50 points a night for like 4 fucking years, but like if you don't have a chip, I'm gonna be so sad for you, bro.
Bro, if you really look at this playoff season, this was the easiest playoff run for the Blazers if they're ever gonna do it, and they didn't even make it out of the first round. Like the Laker teams, they're injured, right? Brooklyn's out. Not to mention the team you lost to, the Denver Nuggets, they had like 9 rotational players. They didn't have Jamal Murray. Will Barton didn't play the first game. They were out there. They were going deep in their rotation to find someone from the G League to help play point guard for them, right?
Yeah.
Like Campazzo. I like Campazzo. Don't get me wrong. I like Campazzo.
Campazzo's a good hustler, dude. He's a hustler, bro. That's right.
But like they were going really deep in their lineup, and they were running Campazzo like 30 minutes a game. Which as much as I like Campazzo, he's not at that level where you can just put him out there for 30 minutes in a playoff game. Like I don't think he's there yet. I think he'll be pretty good in the future. But you lost to a team running Campazzo for 30 minutes. Like he's 5'11", right? And then like you might be like, okay, maybe Denver's just really good, right? Maybe Jokic is just that good.
They have the MVP, Jokic.
Bro. But they got swept the next series. They got swept by the Suns.
Bro, fun fact: today's Dame's birthday.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
All right, man. Hey, happy birthday, bro.
We talked 30 minutes.
Is
happy birthday, all right, so now he is officially what? Yeah, 31.
That should be his birthday wish, though. Traded to a good team.
They traded to a good team.
If he gets traded, like I know he's too prideful to request for a trade, but if he gets traded, it's kind of like, yo, it's not my fault. And the fans can't hate him. The fans, I don't think they'll hate him. That's the perfect scenario for Lillard, I feel.
Yeah.
Like. And Blazers can have a chance, like if they're going, the way this is going, I'm willing to put money on it that they're not going to win a championship with this roster here. And it's hard to make significant changes with the contracts they have. So they might as well try it. I think it's a win-win for everyone if the Blazers just blow it up.
Yeah, man, dude. I feel really, really bad for Dame, dude. If he doesn't get traded or they don't rebuild the team around him, it's just tough, dude. I feel like Dame is one of those stars that you just want him to. It's like Chris Paul. You want Chris Paul to win a chip, but you don't want him to just do it at like 36. Imagine if Chris Paul was in his prime. Like, oh my God, that's gonna be insane, dude. But I just don't like how the Blazers or Dame just too prideful to request for a trade just for his better of his career. Like, bro, if I was an NBA player and you gave me 2 options, like, yo, you want to just be on a mediocre team and drop 40, 50 a night, or have a pretty solid contending team and go try to win a chip, I would obviously the chip, man. Like, man.
As long as you don't do some KD shit where you join the best team in history, like.
Imagine Dame goes to the Lakers. Oh my God.
Hey, as a Laker fan, I'm gonna lie, I would love that, but we're not getting Dame.
Dame going to the Lakers is literally like we're gonna have to play with fucking high schoolers. That's how much we're gonna have to give up.
Dude, for real. Hey, we'll win with high school.
I know we'll win with high schoolers.
They can sign me right now, and we're winning.
Dude, Dame, LeBron, AD, they're not getting stopped, bro. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
bro. Hey, but speaking of ridiculous trades, ESPN is super ridiculous. So let's quickly react to I could just read up all the trades for you. But ESPN Zach Lowe, Bobby Marks discussed Ben Simmons trades for the
Oh
Sixers.
yeah, I saw that. I was like, well, there's no way this is happening, bro.
Yeah, so I mean they do discuss some trades we talk about with the Kings. They also talk about the Blazers one
I see, I see.
with CJ. So they're probably gonna do like a CJ for Ben. Maybe the CJ side would have to pay a little bit more. Um, what do you think if the Sixers get maybe CJ and Robert Covington?
So this one, right? The one right here, from CJ and Rocco for him.
Yeah, I mean like they don't mention this article, but I've heard rumors that if they package CJ, Robert Covington would be like the perfect piece contract wise, and it would
Yeah,
make sense too because Robert Covington is a good 3-and-D guy. It kind of fits
true.
the six.
So CJ Rocco for Simmons, just like that, or
Yeah,
Simmons.
just like that. Would you take that?
Of course, if I was a 76, I would take that in a heartbeat.
But
CJ.
do you think having CJ and Rocco would elevate you if the Nets are healthy? Because like if you're giving up Ben Simmons for CJ who is already 30, CJ I feel like CJ's where he's at right now. Like okay, no, I think he can get better.
Yeah, I feel
But
like
he is 30 though, and Ben Simmons is 24. So even if you don't win now, you still have 10 years of Ben Simmons opposed to maybe 5 years of
CJ.
CJ. So
Well, I think
do you think because if you're doing that to compete right now.
yeah,
So
like right. Like, I want to win a chip.
Robert,
I'm gonna sign CJ and Rocco if I want a chip right
do
now.
you think CJ and Rocco is enough right now? If you take Simmons out the squad, CJ and Rocco enough to beat the Brooklyn Nets next year if they're healthy? Do you think they're good enough to even beat the
What
Bucks?
team is gonna beat the Brooklyn Nets if they're all healthy? Tell me, what team's gonna beat the Brooklyn Nets?
Yeah, but that's what they got to do. If they're looking to trade Simmons, it only makes sense to do that though, right? Because
Yeah, okay.
they're trading Simmons' potential for someone who's better than Simmons but can
right
help
now,
right now.
Yeah.
So that's
If
the only
it's a win now, I'm thinking right now. I'm thinking right now, right? Like you're gonna have Simmons guard who, like fucking KD, or you're gonna have him guard Harden.
If the Sixers were to play them with this squad,
Yeah, with this squad, you're gonna have like Tobias. Exactly, you're gonna have Tobias on Kyrie. Like
you can't hide Curry anywhere.
yeah,
Seth has to guard one of those guys.
yeah, he has guard Durant, or like you're gonna put Simmons on Durant, right? Or like
You have to, right?
yeah,
Is there
yeah,
any other option?
yeah. Then who guards fucking Kyrie? You're gonna put
Maybe you would have to do Simmons on Kyrie, and then Harris just has to do his best against KD.
and then what are you gonna do?
And then Danny Green would have to do his best against Harden.
Dude, there's no way, Danny. Dude,
That's the best. That's the best you can come up with. And then Seth Curry.
I feel like
I don't know who he should guard, bro. He just guards
Danny. I feel like Danny Green would have like. I feel like Danny Green would have to guard Kyrie. I'm not gonna lie.
Maybe.
I'll put Simmons on KD, and then I'll put Harris on Harden. I'll just flip the two.
Yeah. So
you're telling me I'm not gonna put.
We're not talking about fucking Sixers now. They suck, bro. They're not gonna do anything. We're trying to talk about how Sixers can improve, but
the thing is, I feel like even with the CJ trade, CJ and Rocco, like, dude.
I feel like they run into the same issue where Rocco could probably guard KD, but then they're still gonna have a bunch of players that like you don't want on Harden or Kyrie. So that's the point I kind of wanted to make with the CJ deal.
The thing is, you lose defensively, but you win offensively. Like again, I mean, obviously those three are the top offensive players, but your team can match. If you have Simmons, your offense, you cannot go against the Nets offense. Like at that point, like you're gonna have to put offense on offense. Like you have CJ, you have Rocco, you have more firepower with Joel Embiid, right? You can beat the Nets offensively. That's how I'm seeing it, right? We're taking CJ. I'm taking Rocco. I might lose a little bit defensively, not a little, maybe a little bit defensively, but my offense can at least match them. Because okay, KD's gonna have to guard Joel Embiid. Like, what the fucking time we got Nicholas Claxton? Like, they're gonna guard Joel Embiid. DeAndre Jordan. He's
Yeah,
not.
but that's the mismatch that the Sixers have.
Yeah,
That's
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, I would want to
Yo,
have.
let's not talk about Brooklyn matching with. That's not. We're talking about Simmons trade, and then we gotta move on, bro. This is too much. Like, but the main thing I just wanted to say with the CJ deal is that it's kind of like a lose-lose situation because yes, the Sixers could get better, but they're not gonna get good enough. Like, if they make that deal, maybe they just go back to the Eastern Conference Finals again. They don't get better than what they've accomplished before. And they're not going to get any better in the future because CJ is older than Simmons. So that's like just really, let's just move on. I think
all right, let's see the next one, man. Let's see what the next other topic.
The next one is Simmons to the Bulls. What the fuck is this?
Yo, let's just skip this one.
So they're saying they want to pair Zach LaVine with Embiid, which it could make sense, but then that means Sixers would have to find a decent point guard after that. Do the Bulls even want Simmons for Zach though?
They're saying LaVine has a lot of potential. Basically, more potential than Ben Simmons. What do you think about that?
Their play style is so different. I feel like Zach LaVine has been improving at such a fast pace.
Yeah.
And Ben Simmons was better than LaVine for a while now, but like he's been kind of stagnant. If anything, I feel like Ben Simmons been regressing because of his lack of aggressiveness. So
yeah, dude, I don't know. I really want to figure out. Like, we're never gonna know, but I just want to know what the fuck happened to Ben Simmons. I remember when we see clips of these guys shooting pull jumpers. Like, what happened?
I think it's all in his head, bro.
But we say that, right? We say that, but like, bro, what could affect you? You hit the fucking hand of the basketball, you just forgot to shoot, or whatever. All right, but.
Maybe it's because all the pressure put on him because people were saying like, "Yo, this is the next LeBron," and with all that pressure, like I kind of think like we see that type of meltdown with a lot of players that like it's like a personality thing. Some people deal with pressure and they rise to the occasion.
That's
like
true.
Luka, like LaMelo, and then some people like they kind of deal with pressure a little differently. Like I feel like Lonzo Ball, like. You kind of see his confidence is starting to kick back up because he's kind of doing his own thing.
Bro.
Yeah, but looking back at this trade, Simmons and LaVine, I guess the Bulls, because the main problem, I do watch a few Bulls games here and there. I feel like their main problem is their offense is like so terrible. It's just give the ball to LaVine. Now it's give the ball to Vucevic too, but there's like almost no playmaking. Yeah. Kobe White is not like your ideal playmaking point guard. He's more of like a score first. That's so true. I guess with Simmons, you could probably start Kobe White. But then you lose a lot of shooting though. Like
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like
with Simmons and then Patrick Williams, who's not like a good. He's an okay shooter. Yeah. For a rookie, he's like not bad. He has a mid-range game, but I'm not really too sure about the spacing. You're losing your number one option. So your number one option is going to be Vucevic now, which you're basically swapping place with the Magic. Vucevic being your best player, and then you're probably going to be an 8th seed again. So I don't really like this for the Bulls. And 6 for the Sixers, I think is interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I just don't think the Bulls, like you said, the Bulls don't need Simmons. Like they don't need Simmons there, right?
Well,
like,
they need his playmaking and his defense. But then if you're losing LaVine, like if you can keep LaVine, that's lit.
Yeah, but like, bro,
there's no way you can do that.
Yeah, there's no way. Like, who did I say? Give me Kobe White, Lauri Markkanen, and Thaddeus Young. What?
Look, if they were to do like a three-team trade, maybe, but they don't have enough pieces to give the third team. Like the third team giving up something for Ben Simmons, like the third team would have to give up, like for example, if the third team was the Blazers, they would have to give up a star to get to make the trade work, something that the Sixers will want. And I don't think the Bulls have anything to offer for like CJ or anything like that. So
all right.
Yeah, let's just move. Let's just move down. The next trade right here, as a Hornets. Oh, I'm not a Hornets fan. I'm a LaMelo fan.
Yeah, LaMelo fan. Get that right.
I'm gonna be a Pistons fan next year.
Oh,
unless they mess up. I'm gonna be a Pistons fan unless they mess up and they don't take Cade Cunningham.
oh
But
my God! Imagine that. Okay, we'll talk
if
about
they don't take that, like if wait, but let's talk the trade talk. This is really funny post I saw, right? So they said a while ago when Joe Dumars was in charge of the GM, one of the interview questions that they did with the rookies before drafting a rookie was, "Do you make your bed?" And they said they do this because they feel like rookies who make their bed are more organized. So in my head, I'm like, so you're telling me in 2004, this is why you took Darko Milicic instead of D Wade, Chris Bosh, and Carmelo at number 2 because Darko Milicic makes his bed more? I don't know, bro.
Dude, whatever, bro. Just imagine. I don't want to think about it. We'll talk about that if that ever happens, bro. That's emergency broadcast on the spot.
All right,
Like,
so
no
anyway,
emergency broadcast. Yo, so who's running the Pistons team? Nobody, apparently.
oh man. But I think Pistons has been doing pretty good with the rebuild so far because they got rid of Drummond, they got rid of Blake. But yeah, we're gonna talk about the Pistons at another time. They're not worth talking about right now. They kind of let's wait for them to not mess up, take Cade, and then we'll talk about them. But we're gonna talk about the Hornets. This is the next trade for Ben Simmons. I think it's pretty interesting because they're saying the package will involve Gordon Hayward. Gordon Hayward, it would have to be a lot more than Gordon Hayward because I don't know if Gordon Hayward with Embiid is just enough.
Yeah, I was gonna say that right now. I don't think Gordon Hayward with Embiid would even make sense in my opinion.
Maybe you would have to do Hayward and Rozier, but then to make the contract work, you're gonna need someone else from the Sixers to make that work. So, and I don't know if the Hornets want to give up like Rozier and Hayward to get a ball dominant point guard that doesn't. If he's ball dominant and passive at the same time, is he gonna mesh well with Ben Simmons? I have no idea. So
yeah, I feel like when we say ball dominant, we expect the player to take control of the ball, like be the
take a lot of shots.
Yeah, exactly. But I feel like we're hating on Ben Simmons.
Ball dominant guard that doesn't take shots. Like
I feel like we're just hating on Ben Simmons a lot, no cap. But
no, I'm not hating on him, but like I don't.
Like do something, right? Do something.
I wish God gave me your height, man.
I know, right?
Place in life, man. God damn.
Bro, didn't we like? Okay, this is like off topic. Like we joke at the park, like, oh, how hard is it to do this,
dude? Come on, man.
Dude, oh my God.
That's your job, though. Okay. Anyways.
All right, next.
Do you like? Well, we both
don't
like this trade for Philadelphia, but do you like this trade for the Hornets? They're gonna get better defensively, which they kind of suck on defense.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't know. When I see a Hornets team, right, the face of the Hornets is LaMelo. LaMelo ball. And I want LaMelo to like be able to grow into that star role. And honestly, I feel like Hayward's a better fit to like, kind of like not mentor LaMelo, but kind of like, kind of like help him improve like slowly. Because I feel like Hayward and LaMelo kind of have that like that team with him with Miles Bridges as well. But I feel like adding Simmons in there, it just doesn't make sense. Because I feel like you're just, I don't know. I feel like you're taking Hayward away. You're actually like kind of hurting LaMelo as well, in my opinion. I just feel like it wouldn't work out with LaMelo, Rozier, and Simmons. Like just to me, it doesn't really make sense.
I agree. I completely agree. And also, it's that, and it's also like their games too. Like I feel like
exactly. It doesn't matter.
Hayward's game is so versatile to the point where like he can be a spot up shooter for the LaMelo ball, and you can't ask that for Ben Simmons.
Yeah, exactly. But
so that's really it for the Hornets trade. I don't think it makes much sense. Let's go down to Spurs.
This is the one I actually like, though. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah.
Okay, so recently, like a week ago, Greg Popovich said he would give up anyone for Ben Simmons.
Exactly.
And let's take a look at this package. Well, since you took a look at it, like, why don't you just read it out? Or what do you think the package is?
The package, isn't it just DeRozan for Sixers, right? Yeah. Sign and trade DeRozan to Sixers get under. Yeah. There's really a sign and trade with DeRozan Simmons. The reason why I like this trade was I feel like the coach, right? Greg Popovich, this guy is a great ass coach. Coach Kawhi, right? Become the player he is, with obviously Manu Ginobili and Tony Parker helping him out as well. But I feel like Ben Simmons needs someone to help him. You know how like that Chris Paul was for like Ayton and Booker. I feel like Greg Popovich could be that person for Simmons to improve.
I agree.
You know, and I feel like DeRozan would be a good option for Embiid. At the same time, I feel like this is to me is a realistic trade. DeRozan signing trade for Simmons. I feel like both teams win. It's not like both teams take a suffer, right? Like, okay, I guess 76ers might lose a little bit defensively, but you add that offensive threat with Joel Embiid to help them maybe take a title this year, right? And Simmons going to the Spurs, right? I mean, if they agree to DeRozan to Simmons a straight up trade like that, I would honestly take it. What about you?
So you said that the Sixers would lose a lot defensively.
No, not a lot, just a little bit defensively.
I mean, okay, they're gonna lose a lot. I'll add that for you. They're losing a lot. But I have a solution to that though. Yes, they're gonna lose a lot because they're losing the defensive player of the year caliber player, and then DeRozan, he's not a bad defender, but he's nowhere close to that. So you're losing a lot on defense, right?
Yeah.
I have a solution to that. So if San Antonio doesn't do this trade, they're gonna lose DeRozan for nothing. DeRozan can go to any team he wants. So if they don't do that, they're gonna lose him regardless. So if you're the Spurs, you look at it like this. We don't even have DeRozan, right? DeRozan is just gonna be a cherry on top to give the package because we're gonna have to trade him or we just lose him. Yeah. So would you trade just DeJounte Murray, Derek White, and one more for Simmons? And then you throw in DeRozan on top of that for the Sixers, and it looks really appealing to them.
That's true.
And then DeJounte Murray is a very good defender. Derek White's pretty good. So they don't lose much defensively. And then they still get offensive firepower from DeRozan. DeJounte Murray's not a bad offensive.
Yeah, he's pretty good. DeJounte Murray's pretty good.
So I think this trade could work if you package, you sign and trade DeRozan, you package, you probably have to do DeJounte Murray. Like that's probably your most attractive piece. Or Keldon Johnson's really good too, but I don't know. Spurs really like Keldon Johnson.
Yeah, I don't think Spurs would trade Keldon Johnson, in my opinion. Like they would rather trade DeJounte than Keldon Johnson, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's because DeJounte's a little older, but I mean they're both really good. But if you can get Ben Simmons, I do feel like Greg Popovich, like you said, I feel like he could be that perfect mentor. Because Greg Popovich is very hard on his players. Like I don't know if you heard about the Tony Parker stories back in the day.
Nah,
like, he's made Tony Parker cry many times. Like Tony Parker used to be trash. Like he was like a second round. He wasn't that good apparently. And then Greg Popovich like coached him to be the perfect point guard to fit the offense. I think and Greg Popovich, if you look at like his teams with the Spurs. There's not a lot of like super flashy players, right? The most flashy player might be Manu Ginobili, but most of their players, what do? They have to be good defenders.
Yeah,
and that's perfect for Greg Popovich. It fits the San Antonio culture of good defense and pass the ball. So I feel like Ben Simmons can elevate his game in the Spurs. He could be their main building piece with Keldon Johnson, I guess Jakob Poeltl, and I don't know who they would still have left in their trade. Devin Vassell would be pretty good because they still have him. He's a rookie. He was a rookie this year. He complements Ben Simmons' game pretty well because he's a pretty good shooter. So, yeah, I like this trade for both teams. If the Sixers can manage to get DeJounte Murray as well as DeRozan and one more.
That's true. Yeah, I feel like this is, in my opinion, not like I want to say like the most realistic, but this will definitely be the top trade. I feel like if both teams are considering, because Spurs already showed interest in trading, like in like acquiring Ben Simmons, and if they have a good enough offer, the 76ers, like they're not just gonna turn a blind eye, but like we don't want anyone from Spurs. Like they'll be like, oh, this actually looks pretty good, like a pretty good trade. Like it looks fair. It helps us as 76ers to help us as in like the team to have a win now condition, right? Like we now have a chance to, take a chip, right? And Ben Simmons and the Spurs say, hey, we now have a chance to make a run in the near future, right? I thought like Greg Popovich is a great coach. I feel like he is like that father figure to coach a lot of great stars, right? But I feel like Ben Simmons just needs someone like that to help him along the way, right? Get whatever he needs to get through, help him mentally. I don't know, go fucking go therapy, right? Like, dude, do whatever you need to do, bro. You need like 20 million to fucking run around.
Yeah,
Stuff.
bro, because Greg Popovich played for like the Marines basketball team or something like that. So he has that mindset of like, you, you just got to do it, bro. Like mind over body, or I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like Greg Popovich wouldn't like force and Simmons to start shooting, but he'll put him in positions where like he'll make plays around Simmons shooting to make him more comfortable shooting. You know, instead of like immediate like, okay, you're going to game and start pulling up fucking threes. Like, I feel like Greg Popovich is a really good coach where he takes things slowly, like he progresses them slowly. Like, hey, take one or two shots this game. We'll set up a play around it. We'll see how it works out. And then you can see, like, you know how like he builds their confidence back up. I feel like that's what Greg Popovich can do for Simmons. But so that's good for this one. Unless you want to add anything else for this one?
I just want to quickly mention too is like it's not a complete loss if it doesn't work out with if they do the trade and it doesn't work out like we said, like you would have to Brooklyn's a hell of a hurdle, right? You got to overcome Brooklyn. If you don't overcome Brooklyn and it doesn't work, at least you would still have DeJounte Murray, who's a young piece, and you can still continue to rebuild. But if you do the CJ deal and Robert Covington, they're both in their 30s. In a couple years, if you don't beat Brooklyn, if you fail to beat Brooklyn in a couple years, then you're just stuck with two 33-year-olds that, you don't want to overpay them anymore.
Yeah.
But at least with this deal, you can still have DeJounte, and then DeRozan's contract will be up. Uh, I don't know the sign and trade, whatever, how many years you want to give DeRozan, but you still have a lot of money because DeJounte isn't making that much. So you could still, with DeJounte still developing, you can have him and beat and then try to get another. You can keep the process going. So
Yeah, makes
I think
sense.
that's one. All right, so this article, we have one last article for Ben Simmons trades. The first one to Portland. Oh, this is the same trade.
Yeah.
Um, so I've seen this trade a lot. I think I mentioned this trade to you, but with Karis LeVert instead.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm gonna read the trade real quick. Basically, the trade is Philadelphia sending Ben Simmons to Indiana for Malcolm Brogdon and either TJ Warren or Jeremy Lamb. So before we get started with this trade, I would like to mention that Jeremy Lamb, I believe his contract, is it up or is it next year? But it would have to be some type of sign and trade, I believe.
Yeah, I feel like that would usually have to go for Simmons as a sign-in trade. Like you said, right? Yeah, I don't know. If the Pacers like, I don't know. It goes back to the question like, we want both teams to win so they can both accept the trade, right? Simmons going to Pacers. You say you're giving up. Who are you giving up?
It says Brogdon and either TJ Warren or Jeremy Lamb.
But you wanted Karis LeVert in there or no? Let's talk about this trade.
If I was Philadelphia, I would prefer to get Karis LeVert instead of TJ Warren and Jeremy Lamb. I
Yeah,
feel like just Malcolm Brogdon will give you similar play style to Simmons. He has a 3-point shot. He's not as good defensively, but
yeah,
he's still a big point guard playmaker. He does somewhat similar things, not to some extent, but he is a little bit more versatile offensively.
that's
And
true.
then you're getting Karis LeVert, who is a 20-point scorer on pretty good efficiency, and he can help the offense. So if it was Karis LeVert and Brogdon, then I think I would like it. But for TJ Warren,
Or Jeremy
who
Lamb.
had a cool stretch in the bubble, I guess. But other than that, he's pretty dog shit. And then Jeremy Lamb's not really that appetizing or appealing if
Yeah,
I'm giving up Ben Simmons. So
yeah. That's what I was gonna say too. Like, I don't like the only person I would want is Malcolm Brogdon and maybe someone else that can help. I wouldn't like you said. I wouldn't like turn. I wouldn't be like, yo, T.J. Warren, sure, dude. Jeremy
yeah,
Lamb, sure, dude. Like, I don't know. I just feel like that wouldn't be what I would want in my 76ers roster, right? But definitely, if you switch it up from Karis LeVert, I feel that is definitely it makes them turn an eye like, hey, this actually might be pretty good. Brogdon, Levert for Simmons. You think the contract will match?
Yeah, I think it's about the same because Simmons is making a max, and then I believe how much is Karras making? Probably close to 20 mil, right?
I would say so. I think he's making like 9, 10. I forgot.
See how much he has 3 years, 52. So yeah, close to 20 mil, 17.5. I believe Brogdon is making somewhat similar money. Let's see, Brogdon. I feel like if Indiana, let's see, Brogdon signed. Okay, so Brogdon's making about 21 mil. So that's actually perfect because I think Simmons is making 30 mil. So I believe on the Sixers side, they would still have to give up a little bit more to make the contracts match.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, I think the Sixers need to give like one more, just give a first round. I mean, or give some money up, right? First round pick or another.
Yeah, so I've heard like so, Indiana just had a really disappointing year.
Yeah,
Like they didn't make the playoffs.
yeah,
So they've been saying like, yo, are we gonna blow up the team? I've heard trade rumors, getting Miles Turner out of there, to the Pelicans for picks. So maybe you can do that, and then maybe you can take this deal where you could rebuild with Ben Simmons, but you would want more. So maybe ask because if you do Karis
Brogdon.
LeVert and Brogdon, that's a
Yeah,
lot.
I feel like that's a lot. Not just like in salary, but I feel like as a play, as like for
Value wise.
yeah, value wise, bro, you're kind of over. You're over. To me, you're overvaluing Ben Simmons. Like, yeah, his potential is, you don't know where his potential is. Okay, this guy could just continue doing whatever he wants for the next 4 years and be like, dude, we just got scammed. But Karis LeVert,
And Brogdon,
yeah,
that's a lot.
and Brogdon is a lot. And like,
So if I was Indiana, I would just ask for like, okay, give me Ben Simmons and Tyrese Maxey and a future pick that you don't need because you're gonna be in contention anyways.
yeah, exactly. But
So that's what I would do if like this trade that I'm seeing right here, Ben Simmons, Brogdon, TJ Warren, no.
yeah, that's a no.
I feel like if you offer up Karis LeVert, and then I feel like Sixers have so much talent that they don't necessarily use, like
Yeah,
Tyrese Maxey, who's a young player that doesn't get enough minutes
yeah,
because he's on such a good team,
yeah.
or even like Matisse Thybulle, one of those guys plus Ben Simmons for Karis and Brogdon would work.
Yeah, I feel like that would work if he should give a little bit more just to match the value. Obviously, like you said, the salary matches a little bit, but the Senators need to give more in value wise, right? Like, dude, Spencer is not worth fucking max. I'm gonna say that right now, man. That guy defensively, sure, offensively is liability, right? But all right, you want to move on to the next one, or you want to?
The next one we already talked about. It's the Spurs one, and then the last one or the one after that, Kings Simmons for Buddy Hield.
What?
Simmons for it better be Buddy Hield and like way more. Is this just Simmons for Buddy Hield?
Is that it? That's retarded. I'm not.
They're not gonna mention anything else like Hield and Halliburton and more like just Buddy Hield. Okay, we're gonna skip.
Yeah, okay, this was bullshit, bro.
Yeah, I don't know how the Sixers will be in contention with just Buddy Hield.
Hey, they're valuing Buddy Hield as Steph Curry, bro. That's what I'm saying, man.
That was pretty ridiculous. And then the last one, this will wrap up our Ben Simmons talk. We've been talking about this for quite a while.
Yeah, this is.
Ben Simmons to the Raptors, and the Raptors will give him Kyle Lowry and Gary Trent Jr.
Not bad.
Okay. I mean, you still get Lowry, who's a good defender and playmaker. Not to Ben Simmons' extent right now, but he's still a really scrappy player. And then Gary Trent is a decent, to stretch the floor. He's a good defender as well. So, okay. And then Toronto, if they don't trade Lowry, they're gonna lose him. Same thing with
that's what we said. We wanted Lowry to the Lakers, but
So I feel like the Raptors, honestly, like they could give up more than this. because if they don't do this deal, they're gonna lose Lowry regardless.
Yeah,
So
so
you can
basically,
just think
it's the
of
same thing as the Spurs, right? That the DeRozan, we're gonna lose the DeRozan either way. You're losing Lowry. You got to give something more to make it more attractive, right?
so like if you're the Raptors, you might as well be like, hey, I think Gary Trent Jr. and Boucher and I don't know, one more Malachi Flynn or some shit. Plus Lowry, that would be a more attractive to the Sixers. And if you don't do that, then you just lose Lowry anyways. So
Yeah.
I think it could work out for both teams, but Toronto would have to pay up a little bit more.
Yeah, but do you think the 76ers would have to give a little bit more than Simmons? Because you're getting Simmons for Lowry, Gary Trent Jr., Chris Boucher, and fucking
No.
Flynn.
Like I said, like I feel like the Sixers would have to leverage here.
Yeah,
Because if you don't sign and trade Lowry,
you're gonna lose them.
So in the Raptors standpoint, it's really just, hey, here's Gary Trent. Who did we say? Gary Trent, Boucher, and Malachi Flynn. Just those three for Simmons trade up seems pretty worth, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah, Lowry too,
because you're gonna lose him anyways.
That's true.
And I feel like it could work for both teams. I don't know how much better this makes them. This could make them better, but like we said, that Brooklyn team when healthy is pretty.
Yeah, like I said, how it's based on how Simmons improve as well. But I feel like to the Raptors, like yeah, it's work, but you're losing like Gary Trent Jr., which is a pretty good star. Like he's in the start for making too. I mean, obviously, you're gonna lose Kyle Lowry either way, but Chris Boucher is not bad. But I feel like this is yeah, you're right though. I feel like the 76ers would have leverage on this team. Like 76ers have leverage here. They know, like, oh yeah, lose Lowry, you might as well, just give us a good deal and we'll look at it, Well, out of all of these deals, which one would you think is like the most probable one?
I feel like either the Raptors or the Spurs deal makes the most sense. I would say maybe the Raptors one more because the Raptors, they just had a disappointing season, so they're looking to rebuild.
Yeah.
And if they do that, like it sounds really good. Like let's say they do that, right?
Yeah.
They do that trade, they get Ben Simmons, they have Fred Van Fleet already. They can take they have the 4th pick, so they're probably gonna end up with Suggs or Green, probably Suggs. So their starting lineup will be really good, like rebuilding wise. This is a really fun young team to watch. You got Fred Van Fleet, you got Jalen Suggs at the 2, OG at the 3. You still have Siakam at the 4, and I guess the center you would just have to find some Aaron Baines, But yeah, like that seems like a really good, appealing offer for Toronto, and then Toronto can just offer up a bag to try to get Ben Simmons. Oh, I didn't even include Ben Simmons in there. Okay, so Simmons would probably run the 4, right?
I would say you run the 4, yeah.
The 3 or the 4. You have OG and Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Siakam, I guess, will be the center.
Siakam, Van Vliet.
You trade Siakam too. You can trade Siakam because you're rebuilding. I'm pretty sure. Did we mention it? The Warriors wanted Siakam.
Yeah.
So you trade Siakam for Wiseman. I'm pretty sure they're gonna offer Wiseman the 7th pick and the 14th pick. So you get those 2 7th pick, 14th pick for the bench. Maybe like Scotty Barnes or Moses Moody, one of those players. You get him on the bench. You have 2 young players on the bench. You have Wiseman, a young center, and your lineup just looks really good for the future.
That's true.
So I feel like that. I like the Raptors package the most.
I feel like
which package you like the most out of the ones
we actually picked the same 2, like Spurs. I feel like the Spurs and Raptors makes the most sense. Like it benefits both teams. It's not like the fucking Buddy Hield for Simmons. Like, dude, get that shit.
Dude, that was ridiculous. I don't know what that was.
Like, bro, what? Like, dude, who made that one, man? God damn. But I feel like you're right. I feel like the Raptors and the Spurs are the most like appealing for the 76ers. If obviously 76ers, if the 76ers is and want to be a contender now, like they want to win. In my opinion, I feel like the Raptors would help the 76ers the most. Like I agree with you. I feel like they would help the 76ers the most, as in like a win now condition. Like that would push them to either like the best team to go to try to overtake the Nets, right? In my opinion. but the Spurs as well. Like I feel like the Spurs, DeRozan, DeJounte, right, is like it's okay, but if I was 76ers, if you put both packages in front of me, I'm gonna take the Raptors one, without a doubt, right? Um, but yeah, I feel like the Raptors one is like the most logical one and the best for like both teams, right? Because like if the Raptors take that trade and they trade Siakam away as well to do a full rebuild, bro, they have a lot of cushion. They're like, yo, we're chilling. We got a great young core now. We're gonna start having basically potentially like start putting them together. You know, build the chemistry, put the team together, and have a good run, right? But
Yeah, because
yeah,
the main thing with trading a superstar or stars in general, like this is why I don't like the James Harden trade for the Houston Rockets, is because draft picks mean they could be a bust or they could be is a boom or bust type of situation.
yeah.
When you trade a superstar, you want young, you want a combination of young players who have potential that are proven to be good already. Like for example, like I've heard rumors about OKC offering Shea Gilgeous-Alexander for Cade, which I think is a bit much. But it's because Shea is already proven. Cade, as much as I love Cade, he's not proven yet.
In the NBA, right? Yeah, college games, all right, cool. You know, yeah, you can do whatever you want to do, but
So this way with the Raptors, they have both. They have players that are already kind of proven, right? Like Fred VanVleet is already proven. They'll receive Simmons, who's proven, and then they have players that could be good and add like those draft picks, the 4th, the 7th, the 14th, and the future other picks they'll get. So yeah, I think the Raptors trade is the most appealing.
for sure, for sure. I feel like that we both agree on that one for sure.
Yeah. All right. So let's move away from Ben Simmons, man. We just talked about Simmons for like an hour.
Yeah, bro. Let's go on our last topic. Our
We
last
spent
topic.
all that time for someone who can't even shoot, man. The fuck is this?
Oh my god! I remember the one you sent me about like who is it? Like, he was roasting him like the amount of bricks Benson has built for charity.
Oh, the ESPYS.
That shit was
Humanitarian award.
dude.